Hello, and welcome back to Productive Dragons channel, where we do unboxes, plan with me's, and other things. And if you like that, please consider subscribing. Today, I am going to be talking about a readathon that I'm going to be participating next month. Want to see the game and the lovely TBR I'm going to come up with? Come join me. As you see, I have some Phase 10. It is the Phase Out Your TBR. This is Phase 3 from Krys's Corner. They do this readathon every other month. I haven't filmed the first two. I have participated. It's been fun. What it is basically you trying to phase out your TBRs, basically what it is, and you're trying to get out, and you're playing her game of Phase 10. This one, I have to do a set of 4 and a run of 4. So there should be at least 8 books. That's how I do it. I've played with the cards, and I just go with whatever I get at the end is what I complete. She does hers a little differently, and but she's more focused on the ones that require fix the run or whatever you needed. She has already the suits have their own color and prompt to them. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, shuffle the cards a little bit more, and then we will start. That's what I do. I just focus on what the run was, or completing the phase as it's called. I have been using my NetGalley as the phasing out, which has been helping me a lot. Without further ado, I have a 4, a 5, wild, a 5, a 10, okay. Ooh, we got a 5. All right, so I might have my run of 4, maybe. Ooh, a skip. 2, all right. 12. Another wild. Ooh. Okay. This is going to be interesting. 10. 5. Okay, I've got my run of that. All right. Ooh. Just need a 9. Or I could do a 3. I think what I'm going to do is, let's see here. Yeah, that's... Or better yet... All right. Okay. So, 9, 10, 11, 12 is my run with the wild. And here we go with the 4. All right. The red 5 are paperback, which is kind of hilarious considering that I've been using NetGalley, but I'm sure I can figure that out. So I have to get 2 paperbacks, 1 word title, and 1 low hopes. Okay. As for this, we have a red 12, which is adult. Weapon on the cover is number 11. Number 10 yellow is an author you love. Now comes the 9. I have a choice. It can be a book you've been avoiding, multiple POVs, fire on the cover, or a BICOP rep. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys for that. I'm going to put a poll up, red, yellow, blue, or green. And I think I will do a poll to help me pick that one, so I have someone can tell me what color they want to give me, and leave it up to you all. Now, I will be right back to let you see, and hopefully the poll will be up and done by the time I do this. Poll is done, and right now I've come back with the stuff I have for this. So my first card, my first run, I should say, was a red 5, which I'm going to be using red queen because it is a paperback. This time I'm actually going to use my physical TBR. Last 2 times I've used my NetGalley. This one is the second book in the Chronicles of Alice by Christine Henry. It's dealing with Alice and Hatchet. So I don't want to give too much away with this. I enjoyed reading Alice this month, in the month of February. So I'm going to continue this. So here is my first. So one red flag down. The next one is the next paperback I'm going to do, because I had another red 5, which was Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. Morgan Crow is cursed. Born on Eventide, the unluckiest day for any child to be born, Morgan is blamed for all local misfortunes, and worst of all, she's cursed, doomed to her to die at midnight on her 11th birthday. But Morgan awaits her fate. A remarkable man named Jupiter North appears, whisking her away into a safety of secret magical city called Nevermore. It's in Nevermore that Morgan discovers she can contend for a place in the city's most prestigious organization, the Wondrous Society. Morgan must complete in the 4 dangerous trials against hundreds of other children, or she may have to confront her deadly fate. So that one, and then plus March is middle grade March, and at least I'm reading a middle grade. Then I got a yellow one, which was Norse, one-word title, which I'm going to use, Northwoods by Amy Plez. Eli North is not okay. His drinking is getting worse by the day. His emotional wounds after deployment to Afghanistan are raw as ever. His marriage and career are over. The only job he can hold down is the local sheriff department, and that's only because the sheriff is his mother, and she's overwhelmed with small town shaky lakes, dwindling budget, and the fallout from an opioid epidemic. The Northwoods of Wisconsin may be a vacationer's paradise, but amid the fishing trips and campfires and Paul Bunyan's festival, something sinister is taking shape. When a body of a teenage boy is found in the lake, it is set in motion an investigation that leads Eli to a wealthy enclave with violence past, a pharmaceutical salesman, and a missing teenage girl. Soon, Eli and his mother, along with a young FBI agent, are on a hunt for more than just a killer. If Eli solves the case, could he finally get the shot of redemption he so desperately needs? Or will the darkness haunt him and his hometown continue to bring destruction to Northwoods? So there we go. And then I got out of my last run, which was 5, Low Hopes. And for that one, I'm going to put on this one, The Halskiny Affair by Anna Potanki. Spying is family business. Amanda Cole is a brilliant CIA officer following in the footsteps of her father, Charlie Cole, who was a spy during the Cold War. It takes grits to succeed in this male-dominated world. But one hot summer day, a Russian defector walks into her post, and Amanda is given an ultimate chance to prove herself. Defector warns of an intimate assassination of a U.S. senator. Though Amanda takes the warning seriously, her superiors don't. 24 hours later, the senator is dead, and the assassin is just the beginning. Corporate blackmail, covert manipulation, corrupt oligarchies. The Kremlin has found a new way to wage war against America. Teaming up with Kath Frost, a fearless and legendary spy, Amanda races to Rome, to London, from St. Petersburg to Helsinki, raveling the international conspiracy. But as she gets closer and closer to the truth, the central question haunts her. Why was her father's name written down in the senator's notes? What does Charlie Cole really know about the Kremlin plot? The Helsinki Affair is a riveting, global-trotting spy thriller. perfect for fans of John Le Carre and Daniel Seville. This book introduces Potanki as a single new talent in the world of spy fiction. I don't know how I feel about this. I think at the time I had that was the only one, and I didn't feel like skipping. The next one is a run. Now, this is the reason why I said that I was going to do a poll. This was the run that I got, 9, 10, 11, 12. The problem is that 9, I used a wild. And so I put in the poll and asked, hey, help me out in Krys's Discord. And they were nice enough to let me do that. And unfortunately, there was a tie, so you'll be seeing me flip a coin. I have to break the tie because the vote came down to 2. One was a book you were avoiding or a BICOP author. We are going to flip. First one is going to get heads. The second one will get tails. And let's see what I get. And I got BICOP author. So as you see, I got BICOP rep, which I am going to be using. Family Lore. I own this one. It's another, I can't find it because we moved. So some of my books are not being found. By Elizabeth Avis. I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name. Flora has a gift. She can predict to the day when someone will die. So she decided she wanted a live wake, a party to bring her family and community together to celebrate the long life she's led. Her sisters are surprised for Flora for seeing her own death or someone else. Does she have other motives? Refusing to tell her sisters, Matilda, Pastora, and Camilla. But Flora isn't the only person with secrets. Matilda has tried for decades to cover the extent of her husband's infidelity, and now she must confront her true state of her marriage. But Pastora is typically the most reserved sister, but Flora's wake motivates this driven woman to solve her siblings' problems. And Camilla, the youngest sibling and often the forgotten one, she decides she no longer wants to be taken for granted. And the next generation, cousins Ona and Yadi, face turmoil of their own. Yadi is reuniting with her first love, who was in prison when they were both still kids. Anya is married for years and attempting to conceive. Anya must decide whether it's worth it to keep trying to have a child, and anthropology research that begins to feel lackluster. Spanning of the 3 days prior to the wake, Family Lore traces the lives of each of the Matara women, weaving together past and present, Santo Domingo and New York City. Told by Elizabeth, I'm not going to pronounce that woman's last name because I'll butcher it, incredible and incandescent voice. This is an incredible portrait of sisters and cousins, aunts and nieces, and one family's journey through their history, helping them better navigate all that it is to come. So that was interesting. And the next run is the Yellow 10, which is an author you love, which I have to say, I have loved everything so far I've read by Stacey Williamson. Only if you're lucky. Lucy Sharp is larger than life, magnetic and addictive, bold and dangerous, especially for Margaret, who met Lucy at the end of their freshman year at the Liberal Arts College in South Carolina. Margaret is the shy one, the careful one, always the sidekick and never the center of attention. But when Lucy singles her out at the end of the year, a year Margaret spent studying and playing safe, she asked to room together. Something in Margaret can't say no, something daring or starving or maybe even envious. And so Margaret finds herself living in an off-campus house with 3 other girls, Lucy, the ringleader, Sloane, the sarcastic one, and Nicole, the nice one. The 3 of them have opportunities. The 3 of them are opposites, but also deeply intertwined. It is a year that finds Margaret finally coming out of the shell she's been in since the end of high school, and her best friend Elsa died 3 weeks after graduation. Margaret and Lucy has become the closest friends, but by the middle of their sophomore year, one of the frat boys from the house next door was brutally murdered, and Lucy is missing without a trace. Only If You're Lucky is a tantalizing thriller about the nature of friendship and belonging, about loyalty, envy, and betrayal. And another gripping novel from an author quickly becoming a gold standard in psychological suspense. So, of course, I had to go for that one. Next, we have Weapon on the Cover, which is the Red 11. And for that, I am going to read Sign Here. We have a pitchfork, even though there's a pen at the end. The pitchfork is a thing. Coyote Trip has a pretty good gig in the deal department on the 5th floor of hell. Sure, none of the pen works. The coffee machine has been out of order for centuries, and the only drink and offer is Jägermeister, but Pei has a plan. All he needs is one last member of the Harrison family to sell their soul. When the Harrisons retreat to the family lake house for the summer with their daughter Mickey's precocious new friend Ruth in tow, the opportunity Pei has waited a millennium for might finally be in his grasp. And with the help of a charismatic co-worker, Calamity, he sets a plan in motion. But things aren't always as they seem, on Earth or in hell. And as old secrets and new dangers scrape away from the Harrisons' shiny surface, revealing the darkness beneath, everyone must face the consequences of their choices. So that'll be interesting. And the last one was 12, which is an adult. And for that, I'm going to read How Lucky by Will Leach. Daniel leads a rich life in the university town of Athens, Georgia. He's got a couple of close friends, a steady paycheck working for the regional airline, and of course a few glorious days each fall college football tailgates. He considers himself mostly a lucky guy, despite the fact that he suffered from a debilitating disease since he was a small child, one that has left him unable to speak or move without a wheelchair. Largely confined to his home, Daniel spends his hours he's not online communicating with irate air travelers, observing his neighborhood from his front porch. One woman passes by so frequently that he spots her outside the window has become a part of his daily routine, until the day he's almost sure he sees her being kidnapped. Funny, suspenseful, and moving, How Lucky is an unforgettable story of resilience, fiercely resilient young man living with physical disabilities and his effort to solve a mystery unfolding right outside his door. Sure. These are the books I'm reading for this. I actually do own all the books. I just don't, like I said, I moved and I haven't gotten all my books in order. Oh, I am asking for trouble. I know I am. So, what did you think of my selection? Let me know in the comments below. Which book do you think it's going to be really fun to read? Like the video, and until next time, I hope everybody is having a wonderful day.